We're shopping mid-range guitars tonight at Guitar Center, starting off with a 1970 Les Paul Professional. These are the low impedance pickups, and they give you phenomenal clean tones. We've documented one of these in the past if you're interested in checking it out. However, one thing to know about this particular version is they're always ridiculously heavy. We're talking like 12, 13 pounds. But the purpose of our journey tonight is to find something interesting to review. That at the same time is also what I would categorize as a deal. Our last hunting episode, we were talking about the ESLPs. This is the bass version, another one you don't see all the time. I wonder how neck divey these are because they're very lightweight bodies. They're constructed just like an ES335 with the laminate top, back, and sides. And a really light body doesn't sound like it would be good with one of these. But who knows, maybe they play great. But one thing to know about the ESLPs of the late 2010s era, this was very prominent on them. I remember seeing so many like factory second and or deals just because of the delamination layer. Don't be scared of that. It's just part of Gibson's process, and they were particularly ugly on that. It's not a Guitar Center episode if we don't see a weird looking deluxe. I imagine they bulk upload these things. It's bound to happen occasionally, but that is quite a freaky looking Martin in and of itself. That's quite some exotic wood that they've got going on there. Reminds me of a ukulele. You don't often see Norlin era customs breaking the 2000 range. Now, to be fair, we're just one penny into the territory. I was curious what kind of mods we had going on. It looks like potentially factory Kaler version. Uncovered bridge pickup, and then some sort of a blue one over here. It's an interesting look. If you don't agree, you're a quick pickup swap change away. And if you don't like your vibrato unit here, you can technically take that off. You're going to have a big gaping hole underneath it, but you still have the stop bar studs and the tailpiece posts that you can convert it. Something to keep in mind if you ever find a really good deal on it. And this guy, he knows he's showing up. He decided to have some fun with it. I like it. Always good to see a Snow Falcon. This was a limited edition Brendan Small signature. What's really cool about them is that they started life all white with just a slightly darker gray border to them, but they have a white phenolic fretboard. It's just such a cool look that Gibson doesn't do very often. Unfortunately, most of these are yellow snow by now, and I think that's why they're calling this one fair condition outside of, ooh, you're just a cleaning job away from that not looking so decrepitly disgusting. But you know somebody's played this a lot, and apparently left a clip-on tuner on it for an extended period of time. This is actually quite a rare find, the 2016 Custom Light. So when they reissued the Custom Light, the first run was 2013. If memory serves, they still had the mini toggle over here to split the pickups. These were Gibson USA produced, but they finally brought back that thin body. However, it's 2014. They have different inlays within them, so they're not quite as desirable. But then they skipped 2015 for a different series, and then in 2016, they have all the regular custom appointments. Somebody's replaced the tuners on this one. But they came stock with the 4-knob layout, so you got rid of your coil splitting, and that makes these quite desirable guitars. I mean, at this price, I think you're better off just going for the vintage. However, that said, 2010s era Gibson USAs have their own unique, distinct feel to them. You might actually prefer that. That's a pretty hefty price cut on the Dusk Tiger. I've always enjoyed the look of these things, from the clawed inlays in just 2 locations to their rather unique figured top. There's not many flat top Les Pauls that look exactly like this. I'm just not in the mood for a robot guitar today. But another cool thing about this run is they got the tiger stripes on the back with your satin finish. They can make great project guitars if you don't like robots. And here's one I haven't seen, a Super Dove. I'd imagine it's called that because it's more of a larger body-styled acoustic, but yet they gave it like the half Doves in Flight pickguard. You still get the fanciness over here, and wow, somebody definitely played that thing quite excessively, so you know it must sound good. This is the old adage people say online anyway. It could also be somebody's eating fried chicken and just not wiping their hands ever. But I'm impressed to see one of those back straps on there. This looks like a kind of a thinner bodied guitar, like an ES275. That's what I'm thinking about. I would love to see one of these done up in Super Dove format. You know, have the fancy pick guard, still have it be regular semi-hollow, no longer acoustic, have the pickups in it. Because let's face it, they're not too far off already. We were talking about these not too long ago, the EBOF. The F stands for fun because it has a built-in fuzz tone. That's just such a crazy idea back in the day. That's before the multi-effects built-in guitars became super popular, but there must have been other things that would inspire Gibson to give that a go. This seems like a suspiciously good deal. I mean, 1988, nothing too special about that year. You're getting to the point in new Henry J ownership where things start to change. For example, looking here, we've got the large screws for the height adjustment. That tells me we definitely have the Bill Lawrence, the original pickups in this one. 3-piece top, pretty plain, but I would say that's a nice cherry sunburst. Somebody has replaced our strap buttons with Schallers, not a big deal. All things considered, I'd say that's actually quite a beautiful one. Looks like there's some confusion whether there's a break or not. They've got blacklight photos here. Looking in regular lighting, yeah, nobody darkens this area unless there's a reason. I suppose it could have been stand rash and they just botched it even further. But okay, clear as day, yeah. Super cracked. Maybe not the best cosmetic repair touch-up ever. But you know what? I want to shout out this Guitar Center anyways. Not every single one of them will actually give you internal photos like these or blacklight shots. So good on you, Beaumont. That is pretty freaky. Non-reverse Firebird headstock, Trini Lopez styling. Is basically a Trini Lopez on an ES-175. Made in Memphis 2013, thinner body, great wood grain. I'm going to put that in my maybe pile because it even has the P94 pickups. Although this is quite tempting too. I've been waiting for one of these around like 18 to 2000. I'd probably have to call up the shop though to see if it's in the kind of condition I'm after. And I'm always on the lookout for a cool zebra wood. This is part of the Guitar of the Week series. There was a Firebird built like this too. It's got a zebra wood top, it's a satin finish, it's got the zebra bobbin pickups. But what I love about this photo angle is you can actually see, you don't have binding, but sometimes it's that faux binding effect when you look at it just on the edge and you get the zebra wood grain. Not gonna lie, that one's looking pretty good to me. And I don't usually like those because I had one a couple of years ago that was just gorgeous. And I've been trying to find one exactly like it, but here we go. That's what I was talking about. They're cool. And what's going on here? Triple with a double P, stain ebony. I feel like I've seen this guitar before. It's an unmistakable black and cream, black cream. I'm going to be honest. I think I did that with my old Epiphone before Sweetwater had restored it. So I understand the twisted mindset of wanting to try that out. But with such a cool title, I was expecting a bit more. Just a black back. And excuse me, what is that? 1940s Gibson L7, but somebody converted it to like a 295/Les Paul type thing. That's so sacrilegious, but awesome at the same time. Because it's got the sweet 1940s goodness up here, but all the modern playability stuff over there. It even has a quilty maple back, a worn-in neck, built-in stinger. Let's just say this thing has captured my heart, even if I don't end up buying it. This one's not quite a Firebird 5, but it's a beautiful made in USA Rickenbacker. Gotta love those straight-up natural ones. I think if you buy this and the backer actually shows up, I think you might actually be getting a deal. And it's got an AI-generated cow print case. I think that's my new favorite thing that their background remover does to these cases. I mean, imagine if the case actually shows up like that. Well, we showed it in the photos. Somebody ripped out a chunk of it. Now, this one's definitely a 2015 ambered Les Paul standard. It's got all the 2015 goodness in there. Oh, and as a bonus, I think that's the candy back finish. Well, let's see if we can figure out this SG. Okay, so this actually appears to be a rather faded out trans black SG Supreme. We're talking the late 90s, early 2000s. You don't see these too often, especially not in it the way that it looks right now. Due to the fading of the black finish, it looks more like a smoky, transparent charcoal. Looking at our headstock, yep, that is exactly what I was expecting to be ambered over. Now they've got an L9S. I like that they use the proper term, but Ripper might get them more search results. They're saying great condition. That is a good price on one of those. Man, it even has the cover for the bridge. They always lose those things. Kind of an ugly 3-piece top on this one, though. The maple doesn't super match up, but who cares? Looks like she needs a little bit of love on the fret situation. A good polishing can take care of that. Headstock doesn't seem too bad. Just has your typical seam line showing for the wings. It's even got the original case. And whoa, super figured maple neck happened. That doesn't always occur on all of these. That's nice. If that's still available by the time you guys are watching this, and I don't choose it as the one I buy, somebody needs to pick that up. That looks like a great deal. Just make sure you call up the shop and verify with them that the truss rod and everything is good. But whoa, that's crazy. In my search results, we were going from like 22 and there's just a massive drop off around that $1,500 range, where things all the way go down to $1,000. This is a whole nother area of fun. I mean, $800 can start to get you some of these older studios. Like this is the version that has the small trapezoid inlays. I do need to review one of those. But hey, maybe it's just something wrong with these search results because I'm back to 22 now. I don't know much about the SJ100 or its initial 1941 issuing, but $2,100? For something that looks like this with the old-timey Gibson logo and just that old-time feel? Something about the bound fretboard with just the simple, elegant dot inlays works with all that. Although, appears we're missing the top E string. At least the bridge pin's still there, though. But oh, that's exciting. More and more people are doing this, putting EverTunes on Les Pauls. It looks strange, but as a studio option, it's awesome. Set it up once, forget it, always have rock solid tuning. And all things considered, that's a pretty decent top, and they did a nice job of filling in the original tailpiece studs with similarly figured maple. You're always going to be able to tell things have been done, but at least they tried to make it tasteful. But I was curious about the model. It's a 2023, so that's just a regular 50s or 60s Les Paul. Judging by the tuners, it's a 60s stack. If that was 50s, I probably would have bought that. Mainly because I just want to document a Les Paul with that for YouTube to see. Because maybe then Gibson will actually do it if they see people going, oh yeah, I really want to buy this. The problem is they would probably be something like 38 to 4,000 brand new. And I'm just not sure if people are willing to pay that. Or if they do that, they would probably put it on a studio to help make that a bit more affordable. But ooh, Les Paul GT Phantom Black. So this has little flames on it. Not that you can really see or tell, but $2,000 is a fair price for one of these, especially when it can also turn into a Schecter. Let's see, can we see it? Yeah, there we go. Look past the reflections. You've got the little flames. I'm not a big fan of the GT series. They made a guitar marketed towards men and women. This was the men's side. The women's side was the Goddess series. That was all the way back in 2007. Doesn't seem that long ago, but the world has changed a lot. I had to click on this one for the modification I saw. Now, to be fair, I'm not sure, did they contour this or just wear through the finish and or sand through it? Because when you go to the back, you see the exact same thing, which makes me think they added a contour. However, pay close attention. This is a faded series. This really shouldn't be more than $1,200 in really good condition, so heavily modified, it should probably be closer to $800. Being listed at $2,000, I think they messed up when they bought that one, because if you look, they might have thought it was a custom shop or a higher end version than it was. So someone might have actually got full value for it in trade-in. Speaking of the Goddess series, they actually have one. 19 is not bad for Roseburst, especially if it's in respectable condition like it appears to be in. Seems crazy that they blew these out at one time, you know, for less than $1,000, and now they go for crazy money. That is, yeah, the satin finish is even intact. However, is that a headstock crack? They don't mention that, just shrinkage between the ebony fretboard and mahogany neck. I can confirm that is a real thing on most of those, and that does kind of look like a dust line. I might have to call in on that one. And oh my goodness, please, please, please tell me that's just a bad AI removal of the background. Oh my goodness, I don't think it is. Clapton cut but on steroids. And then I don't like the way they made that EMG pickup look. I don't know if that's a blood stain or rust. No. But what I'm impressed by, though, is it still looks like the factory finish. I'm not so sure about the price on that, though. But all right, my friends, I believe that's starting to put us towards the territory of 2 episodes ago when we did the 1,500 or less challenge, because I started us just a little bit high. We'll give Guitar Center some time to restock, and I've got some decisions to make. Take care.